we go. Hello! We're live.
Hi!
And it didn't do the stupid thing that it did last week where it was just like, bam, we're live. And that's why it counted so fast, because I was anticipating it being, bam, we're live. But, bam!
I have no idea
we're
what you're
live.
talking about. Oh, there's no transition?
Yes. See, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that. There's no transition. Yeah. But there was this week, so hello. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Paradice, and welcome to the Power Hour, where we sit and pick on each other for an hour, and it's great. And maybe recap. We were just discussing the ups and downs of our experiences with Duolingo, because Sean has been doing...
It's a trip.
Yeah, it's a trip. Describe the trip for our friends.
I'm on a 15-day streak.
Look at you. I'm on 2. I downloaded
granted,
it last night again.
There are a few days where you get
Did you
the
do
freeze.
streak freeze? Yes. Okay.
I did have a few streak freezes.
Okay.
But
so it's not a legit 15-day streak.
come back to me when you have streak freezes.
Fucking will.
and you're sitting there being like,
I set it up to do 3 minutes a day, which I think is very achievable.
very much so.
So
one lesson usually takes around
3 minutes.
You really know.
Yeah.
Well, if it's one you really know, you can get done in a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
I have not
There's
gone
challenges
under.
also.
Yes, I did a couple. I ran out of hearts because I made too many mistakes, so I had to practice to
Oh,
get
you probably
hearts.
don't have you probably are lacking gems right now because you haven't.
I did earn some. I have some.
Yeah. I don't know how I had so many gems when I started back up. Like I had like 5,000 gems
my
just
God.
sitting in there. Yeah, so I've been able to just like breeze through when I make mistakes.
Whoops. Next.
I'm running low though now, so I'm tempted to pay for Super Duolingo.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
I will eventually.
Practice. No, practice and get the hearts.
But yeah, Duolingo.
We're having fun.
Stuff.
Yeah, thanks for getting me back into it. I used to do it a while ago was working on Spanish and French. And then I can't tell you the last time I did it, but picked up French again yesterday, and a lot of it came flooding back.
It feels very good.
It was great. It does. I feel it's productive.
I when I first started doing it, I didn't think it was actually going to work because I was like, how am I going to learn? I don't even remember how I used to learn Spanish and Latin in elementary and high school.
You learned Latin because I was in your class.
Yeah, well,
and you copied my homework.
I did not copy your homework.
That was probably Josh.
Josh copied your homework.
And then you copied Josh's homework.
No, I just didn't do the homework and then cheated on the quizzes.
Yep. I don't remember you cheating, but I remember somebody, and I remember exactly who it was, sitting with their book open by their foot.
That was me.
Was it you? I don't think it was you.
Yes.
Okay, then somebody else did it too, because it's not the face I have in my brain.
I did that, and I turned the page with my foot.
Yeah.
That was me. Shannon, that was me.
Okay, Sean, it was you. It was you. Okay, all right.
One time I just had the book on my desk.
And
that
she
teacher
didn't notice?
Did not care. Well, I think she didn't. She just didn't notice,
care.
I think. Or didn't care, truthfully. But
I liked her. I liked her a lot.
She was nice. There were some questionable things that she would say in class. She claimed to live in igloos in the
Honestly,
Arctic.
I believe it. If anybody did, I think she did.
I almost just said her name. Let's move on.
Okay. How was your week, Sean?
My week was good. Busy. It's the end of the semester. So tomorrow.
Already? Wow.
Yeah. Tuesday is the last day of classes.
Wow.
So I'm gearing up to finish up things.
Do finals and all that?
I have to grade a bunch of final stuff, final projects, and
all A pluses,
finish up
right?
strong. There's no such thing as A pluses in college. And then, I guess the closest thing to an A plus in college is doing like an honors contract, and getting an A. Even though there's no A plus actually, but you're doing extra bit of work. So
see, I only said
that to be a plus.
I only said that for you to take the bait, and you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. So well done.
What do you mean, take the bait?
I always say that there's A pluses, and you're like, there's no such thing as A pluses. And then
I know.
Yeah, so, but then you proceed to go.
It's not a taking the bait thing. It's a game of catch, Shannon.
Game of catch.
Yeah, it's a game of catch because I'm aware of what you're doing.
Are you? Are you aware, Sean?
Of course,
are you?
Of course, it's the same way
Always.
that I toss the ball to you sometimes when I make comments about grades. No. Or maybe you're taking the bait. And I'm just playing the game.
Oh my God! Keep going. I'm gonna have some more
Bard.
Dinner.
But anyway, beyond school. No, it was a good week. I've been really doing relaxing in Paradise again. It's been very, very fun to get back into that. And like trying out those contrast paints this week with the little Brucey.
Yeah, they look fucking awesome.
They look great. I can't wait to finish
it looks
them up
so
on
good
Wednesday and get the like details on there. So that was fun. And yeah, I mean, the weekend I didn't really do too much other than hang out a little bit. We did a little hang with Roll for Damage crew last night, talking about
that was fun.
The next season of our show.
That was very fun.
Very excited to see Sundered up on YouTube because that's probably the thing I'm most proud of doing ever.
That was a great.
So,
excuse me.
I'm very glad that it didn't get lost.
It was a great game.
Yeah, because I know Roll for Damage, they didn't lose a bunch of things, but they haven't been able to edit and upload for months. So like that was a year ago, a little more than a year ago we did that. It was about a year and a couple months because it was February last year. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while.
That was such a good. I want to rewatch it. We should do a watch. We should do a watch party.
I would like that because I've watched episode 1 and 2 a bunch, or like scenes from it over the last year.
Yeah.
And I love it so much.
Let's do a watch party.
That's very like not humble, but it is such a good show.
No, you did such an awesome job, and that was a great cast, and like the story was just so good. So good.
I'm excited for the last one to come out. And yeah. How was your week, Shannon?
It was a week. Milo Man decided that he wanted to completely fuck over his sleeping schedule. So
nice.
Yep.
He thought things were getting too easy.
Yeah, he did. He really did. So we discovered something called false starts, where if he doesn't get enough awake time during the day, and we try and put him to bed at his normal time, which is like 7, but he got up after 7 and hasn't had a full 12 hours of awake time, including naps and stuff, he'll fall asleep and treat it like a nap and be up 45 minutes later and be like, hey, what's up? Let's go. Let's go. We're ready to go, right?
Oh, I see.
So today, and we're hoping it works, he woke up at 8, so we kept him up till as close to 8 as we could, and he went down within 30 seconds, which was excellent.
That's good.
But we'll see if he stays asleep.
That's always the question.
Once we hit that 45-minute mark, that'll be a real truth teller.
Ziberian says that we have the same hairstyle today.
Twinsies.
I just need to. What is that? A headband?
It is a headband. It's a
bandana.
Little headband. No, it's a headband that looks like a bandana. And those are bats. And this is a very
Halloween headband.
Yes, I was feeling very Halloweeny and moody today, so I put on.
April.
Every day is Halloween if you try hard enough. Now
you're so bright right
I
now.
I know. I am very curious to see if anybody knows what this pattern is, because it's a very specific pattern, and brownie points.
Like from a show?
I'm not telling you. I'm not saying anything. So
what is it from?
I'm not telling you. I'm gonna.
Is it from a show?
I'm not telling. Why am I so goddamn bright? I'm not telling you. Let's get out. You know what? I'll tell you. Fuck. I'll tell you at the end of the stream.
Is it Nightmare Before Christmas?
No, but close.
Is it
end of the stream, Sean?
Is
end of the stream?
Hocus Pocus?
End of the stream.
Hocus Pocus?
End of the fucking stream.
Halloween Town?
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna start recapping. Last week?
Beetlejuice.
No. It's not
Beetlejuice does have a pinstripe pattern.
Okay, but it's not Beetlejuice.
I'm not going to be able to move on from this.
It's not Beetlejuice. No. Sorry, Zabarian. My snotty attitude was towards Sean, not you. You're going to have to try. I believe in you.
Speaking of struggling to get over things, what happened in last week's session?
Who's struggling to get? I'm not gonna.
Everyone.
I can't move on from how bright this is. I'm just gonna have to sit like this for the rest of the
You need to
stream.
put a hat on.
That did not.
That made it worse.
Actually, a ghost host.
What's going on?
Well, I do. I'm just so bright and shiny, and the world needs to know it. So last week was session 11.
Carry on. Oh wait, Shannon, stop talking.
I'm gonna get an A+, and I'm gonna keep going. It was the 10th of
Is that
Maravala,
really is that your claim?
How
do you feel about those scribbles there you got?
Excuse me, they're exquisite scribbles. Aw, thanks, Siberian. I like that. I'm a bright little star in our world. 11. You fucked up the thumbnail last week, which is why it looks like 10.
Okay.
Did you mislabel something in the spreadsheet?
Yes. I don't have 10 in here for some reason, but I have.
That's because I wasn't there for 10. No, there's one I wasn't there for.
You weren't there for 7 and 8, I thought.
8 and 9. 8 and 9.
Oh, 9.
I think.
Did you miss 3? Did we skip a whole night that I didn't account for on here?
Yes, we did. Yes, there was yes, Easter. We skipped Easter.
That's what it is. There we go. That's what it is.
Easter, and then it was Stefan and Alex, and then we got back on track.
Yep. I just need to move all this stuff down one.
Okay, you do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. Shannon's predicted grade.
A. Well, A+, but A. I took really good notes. I took really good notes for downtime. I have it all sectioned out, but look at this. I have the Otter Business Crew.
Ooh.
And
I like that notebook.
thank you, and the Harlequin and Chalice Crew.
Hell yeah! All right, let's do it.
So, but that's on the second pages. There was stuff that happened at the beginning. So. It is the 10th of Maravala on a Vindsdag, year 1326, or the 10th of Septem, Hamel, 826.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I know it's right. I corrected you. I gave it to you on stream last week. So we are... Shut up, Steph. We are waking up at sunset / early evening after taking a long rest after the battle of
you guys went to bed at
Hastings.
like 9 a.m.
Yeah, we did, and we had a long fucking night. So we start with Bruce and Septimus. They are in a room at the Caskin Crew, and I didn't even write that down. I knew that from memory.
That's good.
Yeah, thanks.
That's what I like to hear, is remembering things that are not in your notes. That are just the world.
Steel trap. They're chatting, and they are unsure of how to proceed because the fight the night before really disturbed them. They did not realize that they were signing up for something like that. And to be fair, neither did the other three. But they thought it was going to be a lot less combat-y. Mm-hmm. So they're unsure of how to proceed with the group. They want to talk with everybody about moving forward and, setting expectations and making it very clear that they are not fighters. And just kind of being a little more careful moving forward. Bruce, I think this is important to note because I think it might be useful later. He was playing with a black cube that was his grandfather's. And Septimus, I do not believe, was able to identify anything significant about it other than it's a black cube.
And it was heavier than it should look like it would be.
Heavier than it looked like it would be. So after that, the party all reconvenes. Sass comes in from hanging out at the pier. Fionn and Jacquette come down from their rooms in the Cask and Crow, and everybody's meeting for drinks/dinner. So we had a nice scene with everybody. Basically, what the TLDR of the conversation is: be more careful in the future, and we're going to the plan was to lay low for the week and then visit the academy at the end of the week, which then immediately everybody's like, not everybody, Sass and Fiona are like, we're going the outer business, and Jacquette takes out the Captain Hastings' gun and slides it over to Bruce and Septimus, and it's like, hey nerds, can you fix it? And so they take a look at it, and they discover that it is upon first glance, this is a modular weapon and pretty easy to customize. It's got and some of this was video game talk that y'all were using, so I literally just wrote down what you were saying. It's got 2 sockets to be artificed or customized with things like rapid loading, magical firing, damage enhancement, etc.
It's essentially I'm experimenting with a new type of weapon in the game.
Cool.
That is like a common thing in video games, which is, weapons that you can put different, you can customize like this. Think like in first-person shooters, you can put a silencer on the gun, or you can put a scope on it. Or in some video games, they have like socketing, where it's like, oh, I'll put a red gem in the socket, and it suddenly has fire damage. But like the con of using a modular weapon is it's never magical. It's always it's a technological item, so it never deals magic damage. You can
put magical stuff in it, right?
Yes,
but it's not inherently
the damage
magic.
It deals is always inherently non-magical. Unless there's extra damage that's, say, like fire or something.
Got it.
Just for like it's like you gain this is me messing around with like the really boring resistance system of D&D, where it's like, no, once you reach level 5, everything has resistance to non-magical damage. I'd rather have it be more interesting than that, so that people aren't like, so it's like, oh, I'd rather have a weapon that I can upgrade over time versus a weapon that just automatically deals magic damage, that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So Septimus, Bruce, and Jacquette are gonna go to the Harlequin and Chalice to pick up a gramophone that Bruce agreed to fix for Torcal, which is somebody that Septimus knows. And Fionn and Sass are going to the outer business to settle the fighting pit debt, or at least see what the situation is over there.
Correct.
Which, at that point, is where we split. The party splits. Now, let me ask you, Sean, how would you like me to do this? Because I have little squiggly lines that denote when we flip-flop back and forth. Should I do the entire outer business, or should I flip-flop back and forth like we did in the session?
It's up to you. Whichever you're more comfortable with, whichever will have a more accurate recap, you think.
I think I'll go through one, and then I'll go through the other. I think that'll be easier.
Cool. Because it's not like there's stuff that like intermingles between the two. They're both pretty separate, so I think it's fine to do them separate.
Cool. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start with the outer business crew, which is where Fionn and Saskia go. On the way to the outer business, Sass talks to Fionn about basically, like, you don't need to rush into every scenario with your swords blazing. You can take a chill pill for a second and, like, assess the situation. Like, there was no need for the Captain Hastings battle to end in a beheading. And Fionn was like, well, my friends were in danger. I needed to defend them. And Sass was like, if you'd given me a goddamn second, I might have been able to talk our way out of it. But you showed up wearing the captain's boots and the bloody sword over your shoulder, so that didn't happen. So they kind of went back and forth and came to an understanding about staying safe in situations, but also how to handle the more dangerous situations moving forward. So I think that was a good chat between the two of them. Then they, after that conversation, they arrive at the outer business. It's fight night, so there's quite a crowd gathering. So there's a line out the door to get in. They both get in line. Totally forgot. One very important piece that is crucial.
Jump back into this.
Yeah, it's crucial for this next part. One of the things that we leveled up at the end of the Hastings fight. So Saskia now is able to cast disguise self at will as part of an Eldritch invocation. So she showed that off to the group while they were all sitting in the Cask and Crow, and was like, "I'm a hag. Look what I can do." Yeah. And I'm a hag. So she was just kind of like playing with it and messing around.
And she discovered it at the beach.
And it was, can you describe briefly, because I really love the way that you described it. It was really cool, and I really appreciated, just as a DM, that you were like, hang on, let's do a little flashback so then this next part of the scene makes sense.
Yeah, because I was like,
how am I going to connect this?
Because I remember when you all sent me your notes on what you wanted to do during downtime, you had mentioned Mask of Many Faces, and I was like, oh, let's come up with a cool way for that to happen. And like, I was like, okay, I was also kind of like, if Shannon wants to take the reins on that, go for it. But then once we went into that scene and you were like, I'm going to do this, I was like, okay, let me throw you a bone.
I very much appreciate it. You're so good at throwing me the bones. I appreciate it.
And so basically when she was out at the shore, she woke up and the water was still kind of lapping up. The sun was setting at this point, and the water lapped up. And I had described it as like the water was hugging her. And then it was like, okay, in this scene, then the water kind of like moves up your body and up over your hands like a second skin. And you notice as the water goes over your skin that your hand shifts to an orcish green color. Your fingernails grow longer as the water is creating an illusion around you, and that your Mask of Many Faces in many ways is like a second skin over your body, made of this salt water. And whenever it like sort of like begins to start ending, like you can tell it's ending, like you might notice water dripping off of you.
I thought it was
is falling
really
back.
Really cool way to flavor that. So big fan. Thank you for that. So fast forward, Saskia has Mask of Many Faces up, and she has disguised herself as this older woman. And we'll get to her in a second. Granny Ryan. I wanted to do Ella's accent for it, but I could not for the life of me get it. I just couldn't get it out.
Accent swapping is hard.
It's so hard. And like I was sitting there thinking about how how many
That's why I forget people's accents so many times.
I went from British to a little bit of the Essex accent for like 30 seconds, and then there was some Southern in there, and then just a really raspy
Which I think
Saskia.
is totally fair, given that Sass has never done this before.
And that's exactly what I was thinking, because I was, after stream was over, I'm lamenting, like, fuck, I couldn't keep the accent. I was like, but you know what? We'll flavor it. Like, she just got this ability and was fumbling on how to use it. And nobody seemed suspicious. So.
Yeah, because you were just a creepy old woman.
Yeah, exactly. It's great.
I got a really good lesson in accent shifting last campaign when I played Ashk. Because I had his voice was literally every 2 words. His accent would change because he was a god of trickery and illusions, and he didn't like anyone knowing his true voice. Right. So I always had his voice changing constantly. So I've gotten better. That was a real lesson in how to shift your accent very quickly.
Well, I wanted to do the Essex accent because I wanted it to be like funny. I kind of wanted it to be like how Laudna does the Essex accent for pate. But I couldn't get it to happen, but it's okay.
Well, you haven't done the Essex accent in years.
So long. I need to practice.
If you're going to be doing a lot of Mask of Many Faces, maybe you should start doing like little practices of various accents.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely want
You're
to.
taking French now. Again,
I know.
So you can probably get the French accent going.
Yes, très bien. So Fear and Sass get in line to go into the outer business. Fear gets in line first. Sass lets a couple people get behind him, and then she gets in line. Fear gets up to the Goliath bouncer first, and she's like,
"Look who it is!
Look who it is!" Yep. And Fearn's like,
It's this
"Let me
piece
in."
Of shit.
And the bouncer said, I have to go ask the boss." So she goes and talks to the boss and comes back with 2 options for Fear to pay back the debt. First option is to pay back the coin with interest, or participate in the Walk of Shame, which we did not learn what that was till later. But what it is people in the bar pay for rotten fruit and shit and throw it at you as you walk through, which is pretty cool. Did you come up with that?
It's their means of yeah. I mean that's like a trope, like the whole.
Oh,
like,
is it?
Throw rotten fruit at the criminal.
Yeah.
Like gibbets, like when people are in the
yeah.
I don't remember what this thing's called.
Yeah.
And it's like, throw rotten food at
yeah, the fuck are those called? Yeah, I know exactly. The stockades.
Stockades, yes. And when you're in there, it's like, throw rotten fruit at the criminal, the thief.
Yeah.
I was just like, let's just do that, where it's like you're a thief in their eyes. So they're just gonna be like, either we're gonna make our money directly from you, or we're gonna make our money back by having people throw fruit at you, and for your reputation to be further damaged is also the compensation. Yeah,
which I thought was really cool. Fearn pays the fine. Immediately was like, here you go, let me in. I want to fight. It's fight night. He gets
Which I got to talk to Clayton, because me and him kind of discovered that there's just been some potential disparities in his coin purse.
Oh, really?
From the beginning, from when we shifted to silver.
Yeah.
Because I think but it's all fine. We'll figure it out.
So he gets in, no problem. And then Saskia, disguised as Granny Rhine, this older half-orc woman, gets up and starts talking with the Goliath, and she's like, "Are you lost? Are you sure you're
supposed to be around here,
yeah,
Granny?
It's fight night. Yeah.
You're fighting, Granny.
No,
I don't think that's safe.
No, not anymore." And so
you look very tough, very tough.
I am very tough.
Toss us some silvers to make sure you're, not just going to wander around looking.
Yeah, exactly. So Sass forks over the coin and gets in, no problem.
Don't you follow the Granny there and make sure she doesn't hurt herself?
And she basically then told the guy to fuck off. It's like, I can handle myself. Just, you want to go? You want to go?
No, not worth the silver.
And that is an exact reenactment of what happened. So
I love that scene so much. I love Granny Rhine. That's one of my favorite. I hope Granny Rhine becomes a staple of your Mask of Many Faces.
Absolutely great. That was the plan, is for Granny Rhine to be a staple. But I'm glad that you liked it.
Journal of your alter egos.
Yes, I and you know what I do? I already started one.
Yeah. You and LaRue.
Yeah. I'm glad that it passed off well, because I thought I fumbled through that entire scene. So
I loved it.
Thank you.
I felt like that was like because I know you talked about wanting to be more active, and I was like, this is great. This is exactly what.
It felt so awkward, but I hope it was entertaining.
And that's what it is. It's like that stuff feels awkward, but then eventually it feels less awkward.
Then you get used to it. Yeah, just got to sit with the awkwardness.
Mm-hmm.
So once we are inside the otter business, Fearn goes. He's looking around, and he's looking for Redcap, who was one of the. Did he fight him, or he was in the ring before Fearn?
He was in the ring before Fearn.
The first time.
The one who fought the rat.
Got it. And so he finds him, and he is super drunk at the bar. And he's just not, he's like, ever since he got embarrassed in that fight, he feels disgraced. He feels like he doesn't, he doesn't have, his life doesn't have meaning anymore. And Fearn was like, let me help you out. And we learned that Redcap's real name is Brandon. And so they're kind of talking, and Brandon's like, yeah, I could use that. That'd be great. And then he looks down at Fearn's boots and said, where'd you get those? So he seemed to recognize the boots. So, and that's all that happened, and that was the end of the conversation. But I noted that because that was important.
To add on to that, for context, is you all know that Redcap or Brandon is a former Love No Defiance member. Because that's how they that's how what his for lack of a better way to put it, his fight pit wrestler persona was the Love No Defiance, the professional soldier.
Got it.
Which is why he's so embarrassed, because he was beat by a guy called the Rat, who was just this cretin that attacked him.
Yep.
Fought dirty, threw pocket sand in his face.
Pocket sand. Is that like pocket bacon?
Yeah.
So while that's happening, Sass goes to talk to the bookie about how much she owes. Because this didn't happen on screen. This happened in one of our session zeros before stream started. Fionn, Jacquette, and Sass went to the Outer Business, and they were, they went on a fight night on a Vensdag, and Fionn was like, I'm gonna fight. He does a fight, and then they learn about this thing called the Death Ring, their death match in the Death Ring, and they're like, let's rig it. But Sass didn't have any money to enter, so she basically took out a loan with these people, and now she owes them a lot of money. 180 silver pieces, to be exact.
With an interest accruing every single day
of 7 silver and 5 copper. So it has not crossed yet into the next day. But Granny Rhine paid. Well, now she paid for that day, so it's still going to go. Yeah. So she owes a total of 187 silver pieces and 5 copper pieces, but Granny Rhine paid the daily rate for that day, so it brought it down to 180 silver pieces, and I wrote it in a erasable pen because I'm going to keep track of it. So Sass talks and gets that information, and she's like, son of a bitch! She does not have that kind of money. And then Fionn signs up for a fight and riles up the crowd, and that's basically where we left off with them.
Yep,
still
with
in
the
there.
Outer Business crew.
Yes.
Now over to
the Harlequin and Chalice crew, which is the other three, Bruce, Septimus, and Jacquette. They go over to the Harlequin and Chalice, which is the first tavern that we all started in, and when they get there, Bruce is talking to Oren. Oren is like a big fan of Bruce and a big fan of his work. And so they get a private room to talk and to work on this gramophone. And so Bruce and Septimus are working on the gramophone, and Jacquette starts playing his little hand drums in the room, but then he's kind of been drinking a little bit too, so he eventually ends up out in the main room and playing for the entire crowd. And Oren basically, after seeing Jacquette play, is like, I'm gonna talk to Mr. KR and see if I can get you a weekly gig here.
Let's talk to Mr. KR, see if we can get you a weekly gig here.
Yeah, just like that. It's like you were there.
Well, I didn't know you was such a good bard there.
Bruce and Septimus do fix the gramophone, and Oren, they all kind of chat about gramophones for a little bit, and then they invite Oren to have a drink with them, which he says, not right now, but I'll come back. So he finishes his shift, and then once people clear out, he comes back, and they start. That's when he starts talking about. He talked about something first, and I did not write that down, so that's probably going to cost me points. But the last thing he talked about, or maybe I didn't, I don't know. The last thing he talks about is this reporter that came in. This pale dragonborn. Is that who it was? Mm-hmm. The pale dragonborn came in asking questions about a lead about a murder that happened in the temple court. And describes it as like there's 2 heads were smashed in the temple court, and Bruce is like, what? And he said that the reporter came in asking about Machina's whispers, and how that this might be a rogue automaton going around smashing heads. And we also learned that the reporter's name is Kellen. Mm-hmm. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, he's mainly the big thing that he does there is
he's kind of annoyed, right?
He's pissed. He doesn't like that people are coming snooping around the bar. I mean, that's how the conversation starts. He's like, fucking reporters from the Hive Times. A bunch of fucking thieves coming in here taking gold, silvers from our community. They don't know Hiven, and basically, like, that's how it starts. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what you're missing there. Is like he goes on a tirade about the Hiven Times and the way that it's people from Solanel coming in here, don't know anything about this town or this region, and just trying to weasel their way in to make a profit off of the people of Hiven. Weevil's also weasel. And like he's just super pissed about it, and then they start talking, and he says, "Oh, what was he asking about?" And he goes, "Oh, it's some fucking murder over on the, the temples and the old temples and bullshit, and fucking heads burst open. And these fuckers think it's the Machina's whisper. It's fucking hell, that's not a real thing. It's fake, man. They don't believe it. They think a fucking toaster was smashing heads in.
Heads are smashed in. That's not cool.
Yeah, but the big thing he says is like, Machina's whisper, he doesn't believe it's real. Most people don't believe it's a real thing.
But Septimus does, right?
Septimus does, yeah. Yes, and that's why Septimus gets all weird then when he starts talking about Machina's whisper. And the biggest things are, Machina's whisper, not real, though they think it is Machina's whisper. Nobody gives a fuck about Hiven, and nobody in Hiven gives a fuck. No one's gonna save the day or anything like that, which is where Jacquet is sort of looks to Bruce and Septimus is, who's gonna help out around here? Mm-hmm. There's like kind of a vibe there. And they gave a little bit of information about where to find Hiven Times, where to find the temple that they're talking about. Temple, mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact name of the street. It's like Temple Lane or Temple Street or something.
Temple Court.
Temple Court, thank you. And I didn't hear you that part.
Listening?
No, I was listening.
Offended.
And then it sort of ends with him saying goodnight to them all.
Cool.
Telling them they're always welcome.
Yes. And that's where we ended.
They talked to Mr. KR for Mr. Jacquet.
Mr. Jacquet.
Mr. Jacquet. Okay. So, Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
Speculate wildly.
Oh, wait a minute. My grade first.
Oh, what do you think you got?
A+. I think I deserve an A+.
Chat, what do you think she deserves?
I think that was a pretty fucking good recap, if I do say so myself. Feeling pretty confident about it.
You feeling pretty confident?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. Don't harsh my vibe, man. Don't harsh it.
I'm not harshing your vibe. I'm waiting for chat to harsh your vibe.
Oh, Steph.
Solid A-.
It's been harshed. Explain yourself. Why the minus, Steph? I would love to hear your.
I'm assuming it's primarily coming from the somewhat haziness to the Orin scene in your description. That there were some key parts of that missing.
Ouch! Knife to the heart. Oh my god. Ow. What did I miss? I got pretty much almost all of it.
Almost all of it, yeah. Exactly. That's what an A- is, almost all of it.
That sentence hurts. I keep rereading it and it hurts. It hurts every time I reread it. Ow.
I love it too that he did. Steph is building his case.
Yeah. He doesn't have to work very hard because apparently I built it for him.
I would give that an A-.
Again, we all know Steph is your favorite, so of course you're going to side with him.
Steph got a B+. Or whatever. I don't remember. No, actually, Steph got a good grade.
Yeah.
I didn't actually write down Steph's grade, because I didn't actually grade him. Everyone else graded. They graded each other. I was looking at B+. That was actually what you got last week.
I quit. I'm out. Bye.
I only give an A- because there were some key sort of like, truthfully, it's like the vibe around the Orin conversation. There was some stuff missing from that was important for characterizations of Septimus and Jacquet. They're also key for like what I'm assuming Jacquet is going to try to get the party to do next, is investigate the temple situation. Just a major plot point.
Is it though?
Kind of, since it's involving the.
All right, how about I speculate wildly and knock that minus right off?
If you want to go for another
asterisk, yeah.
Asterisk A. I'm always down for an asterisk A.
Oh, that's worse than a B+. That is worse than a B+. Ugh. I don't know what I'd rather have, an asterisk A or an A-.
Truthfully, if this was school, I'm sure you would go for the asterisk A in all cases, because the GPA will be higher.
Probably. All right.
When you ask for a transcript from me to go to your next campaign with a different DM,
my next campaign is gonna be our next campaign.
another campaign with another DM, and they're like, "Oh, Sean, can I get the transcript on?"
Yes,
on
I
her
did,
notes?
Steph. I did talk about fear and hyping up the crowd. You weren't paying attention. Okay, so then you don't get a say. I'm bitter. Ask me a question. Get me started on this. Speculation, please.
What do you think? What do you make of the Otter business giving you all outs?
I'm surprised, actually. I was very surprised. I honestly thought it was just gonna be like, give us our money, we're gonna beat you up. Like that's what I thought it was gonna be. So I was very, I guess pleasantly surprised. At the auctions.
That's good. So I think that what do you make of that as far as the Otter business, like, in their opinions of you all?
I don't know.
Because you all have been treating it like the Otter business is going to kill you on sight.
Yeah. So I guess it's more yeah, that's that's what I was going to say, Steph. They just care about the money. They want to make money any way that they can. I forgot to mention, but it will be happening. Sass is totally going to take that walk of shame. And it's going to be great. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to them about it, because they may require you to do 2, because it's a lot of money.
Oh, it's a lot of fucking money. Yeah.
If they don't make enough money off of the first one, and you're not sufficiently embarrassed, they may make you do a second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because Jacquet has been saying this whole time, he's like, we don't matter to them, like, other than the fact that we owe them money.
Right.
And if we can probably sufficiently give them money and you know, our reputation, your reputations are tarnished no matter what when it comes to that group.
Right.
They view you as scoundrels, you have no honor among thieves, and that you are, and so on. So like, even like fear, and you know, and they also changed the rules. You can't bet on yourself anymore because of this.
Because of it. Yeah.
So like, Fearn is probably in his mind like, I need to regain my honor amongst this group, which is why he wants to get into these fights.
Mm-hmm.
They will look at you all as just like, I will never trust. We don't trust you.
Right.
But you know, if we can, you know, like,
make some
if
money.
Sass has the walk of shame, like they probably won't let you bet on things until you've sort of re-earned your keep.
That's fine.
Same thing with Jacquet, potentially. They'll probably be like, we won't really let you bet on fights. They might let Jacquet do some of the gambling tables.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, they know he has money, so they're going to want him. They want him around.
Jacquet is probably will be more accepted back than you, because Jacquet demonstrated that he had a lot of coin. They might say, all right, if she pays this loan back fully, or does the walk of shame maybe, but we're probably not. Your credit score has been lowered with the otter business.
Let's be honest, Sass's credit score was trash to begin with, so it's not really lowering it that much.
So like generally speaking, like it was never going to be that hard to clean your slate with them because you are not that important.
Yeah.
Now,
ouch.
On the other side of that, what do you think? How do you think they're going to feel about you by the end of the week?
Why? What do you mean by the end of the week?
Because you're laying low for a week. But word's eventually going to spread.
About... I'm sorry, I'm missing something. About what?
Who killed Captain Hastings?
That. Yes. Okay. Well, yes.
I find out that LaRue, the person who is giving their name as LaRue, who is connected to Fearon and you in that bar, was the killer of Captain Hastings.
How would they... I'm missing something. How would they know?
I'm just saying if word spreads.
Okay.
You think that's going to stay quiet? You think the pirates are not going to tell other criminals that there's people out there who've murdered Captain Hastings?
That's fair. And if pirates are going to hang out anywhere, it's going to be in the otter business.
Yeah, and the pirates of the ship their reputation's fine.
Yeah.
You know, they have no reason not to come and get a drink at the otter business.
Yeah.
And talk. Or even ask about a LaRue, a Saskia, and a Fearon.
Yeah.
Or White Eye.
Well, this could go, I want to say one of two ways, but I only have one way in mind. They could see us as, like, potential mercenaries for them. Like, we get stuff done. Like, we just took down this pretty important guy. And so maybe they want to, I don't know, work with us and be like, you want to take down some other really important guys and maybe pay back debt in that sense. Maybe there's jobs or work to be had there. But yeah, I honestly didn't. I don't know why I didn't think about it that way until this very moment. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a small. I mean, it's a large enough city for you to be quiet in, but like, this city is constantly in this struggle between being a legitimate and illegitimate city.
Right.
A city that's a haven for pirates, a city that's a haven for trade. That's the fight, the tug of war of Hyven. So sure, the otter business has their own shit going on. But you never know what Hastings' interactions with them were.
I was gonna say maybe
if Greaves is a major criminal,
yeah,
then he probably knew Hastings.
Yeah,
eventually.
And maybe we don't know. Maybe Hastings was working for Mr. Greaves, or maybe maybe we pissed off Mr. Greaves by killing Hastings. Or
there's a change of a captain in a major pirate ship, a ship that took down an airship.
Yeah,
is going to be known.
Yeah.
Amongst the community of criminals in this area.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it wouldn't.
Eventually.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, and this is why I'm also kind of like, well, it's kind of a good thing maybe that you went on day 1 of your downtime to do this.
Yeah, instead of
day 7.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Oh boy.
Speculate further.
Well, I know that Septimus wants to go speak with Torcal again. Bring back the fixed gramophone. What was the other thing? Oh, we also need to go to the academy and we need to go talk to Mr. Sigil. Or we gotta wait for Dilvana to come back and get us to go.
Which Dilvana's coming back to the next day, tomorrow, the 11th.
The 11th. and we left off at night, right? It's still nighttime.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so she's coming back then, so we'll probably do that. And then I think there were just like some other
some errands.
Yeah, some errands to run. And then yeah. We'll have to keep a sharp ear out for if anybody's talking about this LaRue guy and how Captain Hastings is dead.
And I mean, you'll have to see, because it's the kind of thing that you don't know exactly
how long
they're gonna do.
It's
also, this is one possibility. The other possibility, there's many possibilities. Like, you have to think about what they might do. They may not want people to know Hastings is dead. Also, the other thing,
that's also
they
true.
Want to operate normally. Maybe Greaves has his own ways of finding out, and perhaps you'll have to do your own investigations, your own listening around. Which, granted, like it's too early for there really to be much of rumors going around about it. But
well, and there's also
as the days go on,
there's also like I remember, Jacquette was trying to get information about Mr. Greaves, but and so I think Fionn was too, but nobody's like talking about him because he's, assumingly very dangerous. So we may need to reassess and reevaluate where we go get that information, and figure out how we're going to get that information, because it doesn't seem like we're getting it from Ed, the Outer Business, because people don't seem to like to talk about. Although we haven't tried talking about him.
No,
in
you
there.
Haven't, because it
was outside.
Yeah, you didn't even know he existed the last time you were there.
Right.
So this is the first time you've come back with any kind of information about who runs that place.
Right. So so maybe we'll do that. Maybe Sass will round everybody up for the Walk of Shame and be like, while you're there throwing fruit, see if you can find anything out about this Mr. Greaves guy.
Jacquette's going to be front and center.
Oh, yeah.
With the most rotten fruit possible.
Yep.
Like old tomatoes.
Just right to the face.
Yep. And what about the conversation with Oren? Any speculations on that?
It definitely piqued Jacquette's interest, so I think he's gonna want to pursue that. Bruce and Septimus probably will not, and will need some convincing, because, as they've stated multiple times, they are not fighters. But I think that will be. Jacquette is good enough with words that he's got a silver tongue, and he's a fast talker. He'll convince the other two. I think he'll convince the other two to go investigate and see what's going on, and maybe he'll be like to Septimus, we can clear the Machina's Whisper's name, and we can, Bruce, maybe we'll find some cool things for you to tinker with. Something like that.
I mean, it's also not criminal activity. That's the thing. It's like they were really not super eager to be doing so much crime.
Right.
This is literally like just help the city out.
Right. It's a little more on the up and up.
But what did Bruce and Septimus really want right now?
What do they really want right now?
It's part of their conversation that you missed in the beginning. Part of that. Or didn't say, at least.
Hold on. It's at the top of my brain.
Just fun. Nerd things.
Nerd things.
There's actually a hint. Well, you got to get it before he finishes the word, or you're not going to get the extra credit.
They want to go to the academy.
They want to, not only do they want to go to the academy,
they want to get into the academy.
They want to get into the academy. Yeah. Yes. And Bruce specifically said it would be good if we could get into the academy.
Thanks, Steph.
You got there before Steph got.
Barely.
I mean, it was ACAD. Like fucking nerds. Right. All right. Any other speculations, Shannon?
No, I think I need to mull and ponder a bit more.
Mull and ponder.
Yes, ponder and mull, if you will.
Ponder and mull. Mull and ponder.
Mull and ponder.
Monder. Pull.
Mull and ponder. That's a good. It's a good name for a tavern.
It's a good name.
You can't have it.
It's also a good name for an episode.
It is.
It's not what next week's episode is called.
No, it's not. I saw. It's a good one.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I was very happy with it.
Yes, it is. It's a good one.
It's been really hard to name these episodes because I've been naming them before they happen. Because I'm like, so like that is a reference to an encounter I'm hoping you all will have. But if you guys drag your feet, it might not. But that, granted, like you guys have kind of done your like active downtime stuff. Like after this, I imagine it's just gonna be kind of like shopping and then go to the academy.
Yeah. And we'll go from there. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Who are we gonna raid, Sean?
Who are we gonna raid? Who is up? Is Zealzaddy not doing his show this week? Looks like he's not on. So if that case, we'll probably raid.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're on.
Well, let's see.
So many games. Fem Gamer Party.
Fem Gamer Party. I don't see them. Who's that?
They're playing D&D.
Raid them.
Huh, I can't do it. But do you need?
I'm nuts. I know. I can do it.
Oh, okay. Do you need the name?
Nope. I got it. It's in my recommended channels.
Okay, fine.
All right, folks. We're sending a raid on over to Fem Gamer Party. Go and give them some love. We're gonna be playing tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see what happens with all this intrigue. And keep an eye out on socials for other stuff. We are the Relaxing in Paradise this Wednesday for sure going to happen. Me and Josh talked about playing Sons of the Forest.
He loves playing with you.
Finish painting these miniatures.
Just my baby.
And do some detail work on them. I'm going to be buying some special effects paints to try to put little dots on your tentacle that will glow under the blacklight. I also want to try to make Bruce's eyes glow under the backlight because they're supposed to glow a little bit. Granted, they're so tiny it might not pick up.
You're too good to us, Sean.
We're going to be messing around. It's going to be fun. Hope y'all can join us. Have a lovely evening, and
we love
see you in Paradise.
Bye.
Bye.